The last national call is a split call. Do you want a bell, or are you just going to rely on the whip?
I'll take the next bell.
There you go, right up.
Thank
Jonathan
you.
Young.
Mr Speaker, I would like to just address a couple of comments of the previous speaker. Yes, indeed, we have known some difficult times for some of our engineering companies in New Plymouth and North Taranaki. The day that I received a phone call at 8 a.m. from Fitzroy Yachts, I was down there at lunchtime with MSD. I was told that the EPMU representative would be there by the end of the week, and he didn't show up. He didn't show up.
Unreliable.
There were only 2 union members there. I wonder whether that had anything to do with it. But that previous speaker needs to know that this government cares for workers, that this government is there supporting workers in all sorts of different ways. Now, they can laugh, they can throw it back, but I was there. I was there, and their representative wasn't. You know that's true. Mr Speaker, it's obvious that Taranaki, a region that has led the GDP per capita, is a region that has done that on the strength of its dairying and its agriculture, and on the strength of its petroleum exploration and production. And I think what the people of Taranaki know and understand, that a Labour-Green coalition government would bring a recession to our region like none other. Because what they would do, they would stop any new exploration offshore. That's what we've heard today from Russell Norman. We've heard it day after day, week after week. That's what they would stop. And I know, and probably most of the members on the other side don't, is that unless an exploration company can continue to find resource, then they are in a diminishing market. And there is a continual need to replace what they produce and what they sell. And so what we would see as the Green Party putting pressure on the Labour Party started to bring an end to petroleum exploration and production in Taranaki, what you would find is confidence in our region would evaporate. We would find the engineering companies that have supported those industries would have zero confidence that a Labour-Green coalition government would be able to support their industry. So all the talk, all the rhetoric about being the Workers' Party would be brought to nothing because of those policies that they would push. And, sir, what we would see is that the most productive region, that, by the way, has a beautiful, pristine environment that we love and care for, that productive region would go into recession and go into high unemployment. And they sit there and they scoff and they laugh at that. It shows how much they really care. It really does. It shows that they are indifferent to the mums and the dads of the kids and the employment prospects of young people in the region that I call home. And obviously they don't. Sir, we need to understand that this government, the national-led government, holds the balance well and right. We want to see economic growth and development, but at the same time we also protect our environment. We protect the way of life of New Zealanders, which is not only enjoying the environment but also having a quality of life that they can afford, which means operations, it means good schools, it means that we have good roads, it means, sir, that we, as we have Minister Brownlee released a week ago, the government policy statement about transport, that we invest in our network for years to come to ensure that we are able to build the export quantity and volume that we can get to the world. Everything that we have in Taranaki, everything that we sell from it, goes either on a road or out through the port. We know that transport infrastructure is important. And, sir, we know that this government is working very hard to ensure that we can do that. Sir, I just want to say that number of measures that we have put in place for a particularly important sector, which is the start-up sector around innovation, has been released in our budget 2014. Sir, what we see is that many companies who are start-up companies who spend a lot on research and development, it takes quite a while, sometimes years before they come into profit. And during that period of time, they are obviously expending their resources. They are developing a great tax loss, which they can't recover until they come into profit to write off their profit. So what this government is doing is enabling them to cash out their tax losses, so that at 28 cents on the dollar in the first year, they can claim back from $500,000, $140,000, and it brings cash flow back into that startup. Today, as I was talking to some of these men and women involved in that, they said cash is king. This is what we need. Sir, we are a nation who knows how to innovate, and we want to support this sector. We want to ensure that we are not just working harder, but we are working smarter. So this government is putting plans and policies into place which I believe this country understands and accepts and embraces. Thank you, sir.
Speaker.
Jamie Lee Ross, I'll give you a 2-minute bell.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm pleased to take what I think is the final call in this appropriations debate. I'm pleased to take the final call to talk about the good work that the government is doing